In 1835, a war was declared that technically never ended. No battles, no peace treaty, just a forgotten conflict, still on the books. In the summer of 1835, the United States officially declared war against the Seminole Nation, a Native American tribe in what is now Florida. But this wasn't your typical war. It wasn't about land alone. It wasn't about pride. It was about a broken promise and a refusal to be erased. The U.S. government had signed a treaty forcing the Seminoles to abandon their land and relocate west. But a fierce warrior named Osceola said no. He and his people refused to leave. What followed was one of the most expensive, grueling conflicts the U.S. military had ever faced at the time. The Second Seminole War, a campaign that dragged on for 7 bloody years in the unforgiving Florida swamps. But here's the twist. Even after spending millions of dollars, deploying thousands of soldiers, and capturing Osceola under a false flag of truce, the U.S. never really won. Many Seminoles retreated deep into the Everglades. They didn't surrender. They weren't captured. They just disappeared into the wilderness. Decades passed. Other conflicts came and went. But something unusual happened. No formal treaty was ever signed. No document ever declared peace. Technically, the Seminole Nation remains at war with the United States. In 1970, a tribal leader named Buffalo Tiger visited the United Nations and presented the case. We are not a defeated people. Our war is not over. It wasn't symbolic. Legally, he was right. U.S. military historians, legal scholars, and government archives confirmed there was no record of a peace treaty with the Seminoles. In fact, some internal documents still listed the conflict as unresolved. And when reporters asked leaders of the Seminole Nation if they wanted to end the war, their answer was chilling. Why would we sign peace when we never lost? Unlike other tribes forcibly relocated, the Seminoles remained. Their resistance tactics, using guerrilla warfare and deep Everglades knowledge, made them nearly impossible to defeat. Historians now view the Seminole War not just as a military event, but as an act of cultural survival. Today, the descendants of those warriors run multi-billion-dollar businesses, govern sovereign lands, and still refer to their unbroken resistance. And yes, many still say, we're technically still at war. It's a quiet conflict. No gunfire, no raids. But it's also not over. This isn't just a historical footnote. It's a symbol of a people who refuse to be erased. Every year at cultural gatherings, the war is remembered, not as a defeat, but as an act of pride. And in official legal circles, the fact that there's still no peace treaty means the war lingers like an open wound in American legal history. The U.S. acknowledges the Seminole tribe as a sovereign nation, but it's never said the war is done, because to do that, someone would have to sign something, and no one ever has. So while the world moved on, a war declared in 1835 still quietly ticks like a time bomb in the footnotes of history. No surrender, no peace, just a war that was never truly lost and never officially ended. What other conflicts might still be silently unfolding beneath the surface of history, just waiting to be acknowledged? Subscribe to Chronicles Unveiled, where hidden wars, lost truths, and untold legends come to light every week.